Good evening. This is Steve Fletcher with the Trumpet for My People. And I pray you are blessed tonight on this 21st day of January 2018. And I want to share something with you that I have been looking at over the last couple days. And I want to give you some resources to search about this and to try to come to an understanding of what I'm going to be sharing with you guys. But I want to talk to you about the last trump of the Hebrew calendar year and the possibility of the last trump being the new moon of the 12th month. Okay, the new moon of the 12th month may be the last trump of the Hebrew year, and seeing that we are in the year of Jubilee, we are coming up on the 12th month of the Hebrew calendar that began last Nisan, last March, and the new moon of the 12th month is February 17th. And so here is an article I wanted to share with you guys. It's from Yahweh's Restoration Ministry. By sharing an article or a link with you guys, I'm not endorsing, their site or their ministry necessarily. I'm just saying that this is one resource you can look at. And what is a biblical new moon? It says, Yahweh in his wisdom has given us a calendar in the sky for all to see. He uses the sun and moon to establish days, months, years, and also his appointed observances. A critical component to his calendar is the new moon, which starts each biblical month. Yahweh commanded special offerings on each new moon, and one special new moon is even a feast day called the Feast of Trumpets. Yahweh uses the new moon to establish moedim, or commanded observances. Special offerings were also given on the new moons, and there is a number of biblical references here that you can check out within this link. We find many references to the new moon or beginning of months in the scriptures, including obligation for true worshipers to observe them. Apostolic believers who remain true to his word continued to honor new moon days as well as observe feast days in the New Testament. Further, we learn from Ezekiel's prophecy in Ezekiel 46:3 that new moon days will be kept in the coming kingdom. The people of the land shall also worship at the doorway of that gate before Yahweh on the Sabbaths and on the new moons. Make no mistake, the biblical admonition to observe the new moon as a special marker in the biblical calendar is not a pronouncement about worshiping the moon itself. Yahweh prohibits worshiping any celestial body, and beware lest you lift up your eyes to heaven and see the sun and the moon and the stars and all the host of heaven, and be drawn away and worship them and serve them, those which Yahweh your Elohim has allotted to all the peoples under the whole heaven. So we are not worshiping the new moon. At the same time, he commands us to watch for and observe the new moon each month so that we honor and follow his unique calendar and the setting of his special holy days. Okay, so we see here in Numbers chapter 10, verse 10, it says, also in the day of your gladness and in your solemn days, in the beginning of your months, ye shall blow the trumpets over your burnt offerings. So we have this time of year as the beginning of each month. So if we are looking for the last trump, which as it says in 1 Corinthians 15, 51 through 53, it says, behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So we are looking for the last trump when it says that in that moment, in the twinkling of an eye, when that trumpet sounds, the dead shall be raised, and we shall be changed. So we have this time within the Hebrew calendar that may mark what is going to be the last trump in the last year. Now, on the Hebrew calendar, the beginning of the 12th month, okay, and we have other texts. For example, Psalm 81:3 says, blow up the trumpet in the new moon in the time appointed on our solemn feast day. So we have biblical confirmation in more than one location that there is a trumpet blown at the beginning of each month. And there is a trumpet blown at the new moon, which is the beginning of each month. And so if we're looking for the last trump, then what I'm wondering is the last trump the new moon of the 12th month? Okay, I shared the other day about the days being shortened and how the Noah calendar, if the 6,000 year cutoff was the end of 2017, then we have the 6,000 year marker plus the 17th day of the second month, which is February 17th. Well, this lines up. It's a Sabbath. It lines up with the new moon of the 12th month. And it lines up with many other things that I shared about in that previous video. And so I would suggest that if you haven't seen that previous video, that you watch it. It's a PowerPoint presentation and easy to follow teaching. Okay, so we are looking then at the Torah calendar, and this shows that the new moon is scheduled on February 17th. This would be the first day of the 12th month and may be the last trump based on the month. Okay, based on the month, the 12th month of the Hebrew calendar in this year of Jubilee. Okay, so this may be the marker that we are looking for, and I share this with you. I'll leave the links for you in the description box, and just encourage you to continue searching. You know, we are at a marker right now that many are watching, January 21st through 24th. Many are going to be looking at the blood moon on the 31st, but there's not a trumpet that would not line up with a trumpet being blown on the calendar, on the Hebrew calendar. And so that's what we need to consider. Will that line up with the last trumpet? Well, we do have one that may be considered the last trumpet, and that would be the new month, the 12th month. The new moon of the 12th month may be the last trump on the Hebrew calendar. So this is what we need to consider. Okay, and so I just leave this with you guys. I pray you are blessed tonight. Have a great night. Have a great week. God bless.